I am 3 years old when I meet my replacement. Instead of a squirmy, red-faced little thing, what comes to consume my parents' already scarce time and attention is a quaint red brick building in Kingsville, Ontario, a small town where the people are as friendly as they are pale. It's a blazingly sunny day in 1991, and our family of 5 has just pulled up to the back of that red brick building in our trusty red Chevrolet Lumina. I remember straining my short neck to look up at this unassuming place my parents kept saying we would make our own. Like so many other Chinese families who have settled in small towns across Canada, our path toward the elusive Canadian dream would begin with the family-owned business. This building would be transformed from a generic coffee shop into a humble restaurant serving Chinese Canadian cuisine, with my parents at the helm. To stake their claim on this building, my parents bestow a name upon it, my name. At birth, I was christened Rachel, the Anglo name on my government documents, but to my family, I've always been Little Mei Mei. In Chinese, Mei can mean beautiful or bright or reliant or even Chinese plum. It is a name that takes on different meanings and significances depending on the tone, context, and intentions of the speaker. With such stunning versatility and range, it seemed a natural fit for my parents to name this new building, this new adventure, this new evidence that they'd finally succeeded in Canada, after me, their youngest child. They name it the Mei Mei Inn. What do you think, Mei Mei? My dad crouches down low to meet my eyes. My older brother, John, who is 10, grumbles behind him in typical middle child fashion, envious that it is my name emblazoned on the restaurant. How come you named the restaurant after her? Can you name a dish on the menu John's Jumbo Shrimp? It is a monumental day, the turning point for our family. Finally, my parents have something that is all theirs. They can be their own bosses, set their own hours, make even more money. For 2 kids who survived bombs and starvation during a pointless war in Vietnam, it is a dream come true. I didn't know it at the time, but that unassuming red brick building would become my parents' new baby. I was no longer the only Mei Mei in their lives. From that day on, I am a restaurant kid. The restaurant becomes ours 10 years after my parents landed in Canada in 1981 with their infant daughter Lynn in tow and an unborn baby the size of a plum, my brother John, in my mother's womb. They finally have a home after 2 years of waiting in a Hong Kong refugee camp, where my parents landed after fleeing post-war Vietnam on a 2-packed boat of disease and despair. When they land in Quebec, it is a characteristically cold February day. They marvel and shiver at the sight of the unfamiliar white powder that covers everything they see. It is so completely different from Haiphong, where they were born. It terrifies them. I had tears in my eyes, my dad remembers. I thought, what the hell? We came to Canada and it's all this? It's all white. 1,000 questions raced through Dad's head upon landing in this new place they were to call home. How do people live here? How do people work? What are we going to eat? But my dad keeps his anxious thoughts to himself. My parents both speak Cantonese and Vietnamese. My dad can understand Mandarin and some Japanese, but neither know English when they arrive in their new country. What choice do they have but to stay quiet? What choice do they have but to parrot back the same strange words they hear from the same strange people, handing them their first ever winter boots and jackets? Snow, someone says, catching the way my parents' wide eyes survey the shockingly white landscape before them.